Hello everybody, and thank you for visiting my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about maintaining your custom liquid cooled computer. Now there's lots of debate out there on how often you should do maintenance on your liquid cooled system. Now just like a car, you have to get oil changes every so many miles. Well, with your computer, you gotta change out your coolant every so many months or a year, whoever you want to believe, and or maybe you're just going to go based on when your coolant starts to look bad in your system. Now there's multiple different things you can do to maintain your custom liquid cooled loop. The things you're going to want are distilled water, you can get this at your grocery store, anywhere. It's cheap. I got that gallon for under $1. It's not expensive. Now you can use this as your coolant, but you're going to want some sort of anti-algae, anti-corrosive additive for your loop. Now hopefully you have it all thought out and how you're going to drain your system. I'm not going to go over that today. I will go over that in a later video when I do some maintenance on my personal rig. Today I'm just talking about the things you're going to need in order to do such maintenance. So you're going to want lots of distilled water in order to flush your system after you have drained it. And then in doing so, I have what is here from Primo Chill. It's called System Reboot, and I'll put links in the descriptions below to their website so you can see exactly what it is. I'll do some close-ups up here in a second. The first one here on the right is System Reboot. That is the one that I will be using to clean the system that I already had fluid in. The System Prep is used for new loops, preferably using with Primo Chill's coolant. And then the Liquid Utopia is the anti-algae, anti-corrosive additive you add to a gallon of distilled water to use as coolant. So I will try to put links in the description to their website if you guys are interested in using these products as well. Now, if you're starting from scratch and you haven't previously had your loop filled, you're going to need what's called System Prep. This you add to a gallon of distilled water, just like the System Reboot, and you let this run for 12 to 24 hours, and then you completely drain your system. And then you're going to need your anti-algae, anti-corrosive additive, or whatever coolant you decide to go with. If you're not using straight distilled water with an additive, you can use a pre-mix coolant. I got some here actually. I have some EK premix, so this would be the other route you could go with instead of going with distilled water and a anti-algae, anti-corrosive additive. You could just go buy this and fill your loop with that. So there's lots of debate out there, like I said, about how often you should do this maintenance, whether it's every 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24, whatever. For reference, do not let your system get as bad as this did. I'll do some close-ups here, but this was originally red coolant in these clear tubes, and now it's nasty brown. The tubes are actually all dried up and tangled, and it's just nasty looking. The entire loop is just ridiculously nasty. I'm gonna try tearing apart this block. I'll try making some content out of it as well, cleaning the block and showing you how to do that. But in doing so, you I believe, will be voiding any warranties by tearing apart any of your blocks, whether it be CPU or VGA. So be mindful of that. Now there are ways to help prevent your loop from getting that bad, just like I was talking about. You got your regular maintenance with, switching out your coolant, flushing your system every so often, whether you decide to do it every 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24. The other thing you want to try to do is try to buy all your water cooling components from the same manufacturer as much as possible to decrease the likelihood of having mixed metals. That's going to help prevent any corrosion on your fittings, radiators, and your water blocks. The other thing, the cloudiness of that, if you stick with it, your clear coolants, whether it be a clear premix or doing distilled water with a anti-algae, anti-corrosive additive, you will have a less likelihood of your tubes clouding up like that did. Like I said, it was red. It was actually white coolant with red dye added to it. So it was all kinds of bad. Other than that, just, make sure your loop doesn't get this bad. And if it does, just make sure you do a hard flush. I would obviously definitely change the tubing. I would look at your fittings, make sure there are no corrosion, clean out as much stuff as thoroughly as you can, whether that's just, flushing out the radiators, cleaning out the your pump and reservoir if you got a tall or short pump or reservoir. Make sure you take apart as much as you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with voiding any warranties, then don't tear apart anything you're not comfortable with putting back together. So, all right, well, if you have any questions or comments of how often you guys change your liquid cooled systems, make sure to leave those in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Until next time.